السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي كان موجودا قبل حدوث الأشياء ويبقى بعد فناء الأشياء، تفرد بالأولية والقدم ووسم كل شيء ما عداه بالفناء والعدم، كما قال عز شأنه: كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه وكل نفس ذائقة الموت. وقال: كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنام سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. صلوات. Today is 1st of Dhul Hijjah, and a month in which there are so many important events took place in the history has started. And in the first day, it was the marriage and the wedding of Janab Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha with Imam Ali alayhi salam, and it is today. So it's very great day for us. It has two Eids today. One is Friday. Friday itself is an Eid, and the other significance is that it is the anniversary of this greatest and the most significant and special wedding of human history. So the union of Imam Ali and Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha is a very special event for the entire humanity, and especially for the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, because they are the examples for our lives, and they are the best examples. They are the role models for us in all aspects of our lives. And marriage is the most important aspect of anybody's life. When you get married, you start a new life, and you should know how to deal with this new situation that you just entered into it. Wedding is a contract. Wedding is an agreement between two individuals, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has called it ayat. In min ayat, it is ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of His great signs. If you want to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you see any wedding and see how these two individuals got together. You will find amazing stories and amazing realities. So Allah calls it وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for you from among yourself, your mates, So marriage overall is very important in Islam. Islam has put a lot of emphasis on marriage itself. Though it is not apparently wajib, but it has been emphasized as more than wajib. So marriage is very much necessary, and it is not just necessary for individuals, it is a necessity for human race. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created human being from one single soul, Adam. And then the other soul, of course, Eve. وَخَلَقَ مِنْهُمَا وَبَثَّ مِنْهُمَا رِجَالًا كَثِيرًا وَنِسَاء. In Surah Nisa, in the first ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about how the human being, as men and women, they came into existence in this great numbers, and how they are, they were spread all over on this globe. So Allah says it started from two people, Adam and Eve. And this is so sacred relationship, so important relationship, that it is even more important than any other relationship. You might say, how about parents? How about children? Yes. This relationship of marriage is even more important than those in many aspects, for many reasons. And remember that the first relationship that started in this earth, it was this relationship. Husband and wife relationship. It started the first. This is the first relationship ever. There was no relationship before this. No brother, sister, no brother, no father and son, no mother and daughter, nothing. First relationship, husband and wife. Then, through the blessings of this relationship, other relations started. Any other relationship depends on originally this original relationship, husband and wife. But as it is very sacred and very important, it is also very delicate relationship. As it is most important, the same way it is most delicate and fragile. It's easy to get into this relationship and easy to get out of this relationship. That's why it's called sababi. Other relationships, you have no choice. You are son of somebody, you have no choice. He is your father anyway. He is your uncle, you like it or not. He is your uncle. She is your mother. She is your daughter. He is your brother. She is your sister. So these are called nasabi. These are blood relations that created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have no choice in them. But in sababi means getting into relationship through a reason that you like to be in relationship with someone. This is the reason. In halal relationship, and this makes you related to someone with the most important relationship, and it is still delicate. That's why you have to pay the most of your efforts to protect this relationship. And it's so easy. If you follow the rules and laws, it's very easy. If you don't, it's very hard and very difficult. So keeping this relationship is easiest and is hardest. Just like when you drive on the road, to keep yourself safe and drive safely and come back home safely is easy. And the same way is very hard. Easy if you follow the rules and laws and follow the rules of the road, and very hard if you don't care about the speed limit, about stop signs, about yield signs, about other signs. You're just driving. It's hard to come back home safely. So it's easy and hard. The same thing, this relationship. So saying something is so easy when you say, when you preach, but practically, yeah, it's very hard. You see that this relationship, to keep this relationship is very hard, because two individuals, they have two different ideologies. Maybe even if they have same ideology, still there are differences, because they are two individuals, they are not one. Two different individuals. And when they are two different, their thinking, their likeness, dislikeness, their taste, their other, so many issues. So they agree in so many issues, they disagree in so many issues, they like together, they like differently. So many things come in this relationship. That's why it makes it hard to keep this relationship with the same passion that it had started. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, so that you can get sukoon, you get tranquility and peace. So this relationship is cause for peace and tranquility. And people say, we have everything except this. Everything except peace. Originally, Quran says this is for peace. The purpose for this relationship is what? Wedding, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, for peace and tranquility. So this is started with peace. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed peace among us when we started our life. What happens later on? What it happens originally? We lose the track. We get out of the laws and rules and our lines that had been determined by and prescribed by Sharia, by Islam. We lose them. We get away from it. Both of us or one of us. It is impossible, but both of them are religious and they're following the laws and rules, and anything bad happens in the relationship. Impossible. Just like if everybody is following the rules and laws of the road, everybody is in his line, and still accident happens. No, impossible. Accident happens when both of them or one of them has violated the rules and laws. The same thing in this relationship. So now, you say, okay, we understand, but how it is possible that we keep this peace among us? Then Allah also says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed love and mercy among you. So how can we keep it? Allah has kept it in the beginning. First day when you were declared as husband and wife, somebody read your nikah, your wedding ceremony. On that moment, you have the love and mercy among you, not by yourself, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed this love and mercy. An interesting thing is here, that Allah didn't say that you have the love and mercy before wedding. No, after wedding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts a clean and pure love between you. Now, how can you keep it? As I said, so many things come. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us so many examples. That's why when Allah sends guidance, so the guidance is not just verbal guidance. Guidance, verbal plus practical guidance. All Anbiya alayhimus salam, we have the examples in the lives of our prophets, we see them that how they lived, what kind of relationship they had, and how they dealt with those relationships. Husband and wife, how they dealt as husband, and how they were as fathers, how they were as brothers, let's say. So we have examples in the lives of prophets and other Allah's representatives. In the life of the Prophet himself, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He is the last prophet. He is the one who delivered the last message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he is the representative of all other prophets before him. So all his message, every single word that he uttered, originally it represents the ideology and the teachings of all prophets before him. So he is giving the brief. So now he is setting examples of different aspects of life. So you might say, okay, some people think that if someone becomes a prophet or a priest, he should not get married. Getting married is essential part of social life. So socially, you cannot be example and good role model for somebody if you don't get married. That's why the Prophet got married. Prophet's example in our life is the best example. Now, since there are two individuals, listen, two individuals. Both of them, husband and wife, both, if they have any disagreement on any issue, both have very strong reasons to claim to be on right. They are right. He is right and he has evidence for that. She is right and she said, I have proof for that. One issue, both think they are right. Who should come to solve the issue and the problem? So there should be rules and laws, constitution and laws. And there are in Islam. So do you think that if one person among these two becomes very nice and good, the life will go smooth? No. Both of them should follow the rules and laws. But what to do if the other person is not following the law? Here is the main issue. And always this comes in our life. And this is the real challenge. And we can brief all the problems in our marriage life in this just one single question. Why? Because everybody thinks that I'm right. Okay, if you are right and the other person is wrong, okay, fine. If the other person is wrong, what is your responsibility in such a situation? We don't need to argue with you that no, you are wrong. No, let's say you are right. Let's accept that you are right and she is wrong. Let's accept that you are right and he is wrong. So what to do? How to deal with the situation? So now if you do the same as the other person is doing, as your partner is doing, she did this, that's why I did this. He did this, that's why I did this. Then you cannot claim to be good and nice and kind. So you need to do what is your responsibility as an individual, as husband or wife, when the other party is not following the rules and laws. Okay, so let's brief this. Summarize it in these two questions. One, if both are good, subhanallah, so there is no issue. If both are wrong, issue and issue. But if one is wrong and one is right, which is 95%, everybody thinking at least, everybody thinks that I'm right, she is wrong. She said, so what is the solution? So we need examples in the lives of the prophets. We need to see them. So see the Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He has all examples in his life. Best wife ever. In human history, no, you don't have any example, any other good example as Khadija salamullah alaiha. As a good wife, best wife. I'm not talking about Fatima Zahra salamullah alaiha yet. She is ma'sooma. She is infallible. Any non-ma'soom lady, no example. Best of best examples. So see Janab Khadija salamullah alaiha. When you get a good wife, people come and tell you, oh, you are lucky you have a good wife, right? Rasulullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him all the bounties of this world and hereafter. He is rahmatul lil alamin, He is mercy for the universe. Allah is merciful, and Allah's mercy's name is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, someone who has everything. Don't we have the right to come and tell Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, you are lucky, you have such a wife? Like Khadija salamullah alaiha? Yes, we can say it. And he will be happy. Say, yes, I am lucky. Alhamdulillah. Allah has given me all the bounties, and this is one of the greatest bounty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me as Khadija salamullah alayha. Good wife. So I say, okay, Rasulullah, how can you be good example for us when you have such a good wife? But my wife is not such a good wife. How can I deal with her? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Hujurat has mentioned the whole thing. In Surah Tahrim. In Surah Tahrim, read the Surah Tahrim and see that how Prophet was dealing after the death of Khadija al-Kubra salamullah alaiha with wives. What kind of wives? Quran mentioning that. Read it. And you'll find out. That's why when during the counseling I talk to the couples, I give them the examples that the Quran has given us. In the same surah, in the end, Quran speaks about two ladies. Now the ladies also can say, okay, how can I deal with such a husband? I'm so good, my husband is bad. Okay. Quran says we have given two examples about the ladies, wives, and husbands both. Wives and husbands, two couples. See the couples in Islam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving the examples. Example of Nuh and Lut and their wives. Example of Asiya and her husband Fir'aun. So two examples. So when I talk to the couples and everyone is blaming the other side and say, he is wrong. He said, she is wrong. So what I say, look, you are not equal to Nuh and Lut. You are not like them or better than them. And she is not worse than the wives of Nuh and Lut. See what Nuh and Lut have done with their wives. How they dealt with their wife. If you said she is wrong, okay, so you are not Nuh. She is not wife of Noah. On the other side, the ladies when say, oh, he is very wrong, he is, okay. He is very bad, but he is not Fir'aun. And you are not, Asiya. And in the example of Rasulullah himself, you are not Rasulullah, and you are not dealing with any lady such as the Prophet has dealt with. So stop blaming on each other. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us another example. This was examples of different, with different thinkings, different ideology. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, this is the differences, how you deal with the differences. Allah gave us an example of a perfect marriage. 100% perfect. You cannot find anywhere 100%. If you find, remember this, if you find maybe 40% of your dreams coming true in your marriage, 40% of the list that you had in your mind and expectations, so you are the luckiest person. 50%, subhanallah, you are good and the best. 50%. 60%, no, very little people find that. 70%, you can't. So 50% is fine, is okay. Be happy on 50%. Okay? 50% of expectations were really materialized for you. No, 100% is impossible. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the example of 100% complete and perfect marriage. And it is the marriage which took place today, 100 years ago. $1,400 years ago. The marriage of Imam Ali and Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. So how this couple can be example for us by looking that they are individually are examples in all aspects of our life. In anything, both of them are examples for us, best role models for us, for ladies, for gents, for children, for youth, for everybody. These two are the best role models. Now see their marriage life. If we apply those examples on our lives, our life becomes the best. And you see the happiness in your life. You find real happiness with the blessings of this marriage which took place today between Imam Ali and Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. The time is over almost, so quickly you see how this marriage took place. See the type of ceremonies, in the time of nikah, in the time of rukhsati, in the time of reception and walima, what happened, and the dowry, which is jahez, and all those things, what kind of marriage this was. The best marriage. Why this best marriage? So that nobody can say, okay, because I'm such a husband, so my wedding should be a great wedding. Why? Because I am this and I am that. You are everything, but you cannot reach to Imam Ali alayhi salam. Maybe some ladies say, oh, I am this, I am that, I have this degrees, this much money, this beauty, and this and that and that. Okay, fine. Whatever you are, you cannot reach to Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. So see the most perfect wedding, how that wedding was, how this occurred, and how we have those ceremonies and gatherings of wedding. Just compare by yourself. Alone, when you're sitting alone and thinking and comparing, you'll see that where we are, how far we are from the examples that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set for us. So what we can do, at least seek the blessing of this day and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us real followers of Imam Ali and Fatima salamullah alayha in our lives. And not just how this happened, how they lived together, how they were, what kind of cooperation they had in the house, outside, how they lived, how they raised their children. So everything is the best example we have. But don't keep it just example, just keep it just for getting happy about just speaking about them. No. Apply their examples in your lives and you see the miracles in your life. Not just miracles in their lives. Of course, they were miracles of Allah themselves. But you will see the miracles and the effects and reflection of their miracles in your life. Insha'Allah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to follow them and keep our home, our house, and our marriage life a happy life like a Jannah and like the one that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam like us to do, inshaAllah, and give us tawfiq to raise our children in the way that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam wanted us to do. إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات تواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر